Welcome to Digital Marketing ROI, the podcast that connects marketing to your business's revenue and covers everything you need to know to stay up to date in this crazy digital marketing world.
Welcome to Digital Marketing ROI. I'm your host, Shannon Allen, and I'm here joined by my co-host, Crystal. Hi, Crystal.
Hi, Shannon. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a good day today.
It's been a really good day. The sun is shining.
It's 90. It's summer, right? That's good.
I love it.
It's a good day. It's Thursday for us. Another day in the FDS podcast world, right?
Yeah.
And we got a good topic. We get to switch roles today.
Yes, we do. Yeah, you get to ask all of the questions, and I get to talk nonstop.
I do. I get to ask the question. So I'm going to let our listeners know that we're going to dive into something every business owner is probably struggling with, in my opinion, in your opinion, how to actually get seen on social media when the algorithm seems to be working against us.
Yes.
So Crystal's going to help break this down, what's really happening behind the scenes, and give us practical strategies to stop fighting those darn algorithms and really just start making them work for us,
Yes.
right? So let's start with the reality check. So on Facebook, only 1.02% of a page's followers see their posts, and Instagram is at 14.10%. Wow, big difference, right?
Yes.
So what's really going on here, and should a business be panicking about these numbers?
So let's break that down. If you're not a math person, that means that if you have 100 people who follow your Facebook page, one person is going to see any post that you publish in a given month.
Yep, that's crazy.
On Facebook, 14 people of your 100 followers are going to see any one post from you in a given month.
Big difference.
That is a big difference, but it's still not great, right?
Still not great.
Instagram's
Either
still
way,
not
yeah.
great.
It's better, but it's still
better,
not great.
but it's still not
Yeah.
great. This is probably shocking, but also validating for a lot of business owners. The algorithms, Meta doesn't hate your business. Meta is not saying, oh, no, we are not going to show any of your content to anybody who follows you. Facebook, Instagram, any social media platform that you're on, they are social content discovery engines. They are just running their own business, right? Meta is saying, our goal as Meta is to show as much content to you, Shannon,
right,
that you love, that you uniquely love, that you love so much that you stay on our platform for as long as possible. And then when you eventually leave, you go, oh man, that content was so good. I have to go back.
I got to come back.
I got to come back. The more time that you spend on the platform as a user, the more ads Facebook can show to you.
Right.
The more time that you spend on Facebook as a user, the more data Facebook is collecting on you.
So they want to make sure that you're getting
that it can show
great
more
content,
yes.
right?
So Facebook made a big switch. They started doing this several years ago, but they really dove deep into it last year and then this year especially. And then Instagram really hit this hard. It used to be that if you followed a page, you would see a lot of their posts.
Right.
Now, not so much on Instagram. Unless you're engaging with them
it's
a lot.
still about engagement.
The asterisk there is if you are commenting and engaging on those posts, then you will see them. And that's where that 1% or that 14% is coming from. But what they are doing is now they are recommending content to you that they think that you like, regardless of if you follow the page or not. And so they're doing it based on proximity, but they're also doing it on what kind of content does Shannon like? Do you like videos? Do you like reels? Do you like carousel posts? Do you like single image posts? Do you like posts about puppies? Do you like posts about sports? Do you like cooking shows? What do you like? What kind of content can we show you that you love so that we can get all of your data and serve you all of the ads?
In my mind, I do like this element. I mean, at FDS, we sell social media management, but we call it social engagement because our goal and your job and your team's job is to have more engagement.
Yes.
Not necessarily grow followers.
No.
And likes. But I would think this algorithm does help with that a little bit. Or is that
followers, think of it this way. Would you rather have 25 really engaged people who comment on all of your posts and are more likely to become paying customers of yours? Or would you rather have 5,000 Facebook followers
who have
never heard of you?
We've said this all along. It's about the quality, not the quantity of
Yes.
it. And we do have these conversations with our clients that think about it yourself. How many businesses do you actually follow yourself? Like there has to be a pretty good reason to follow it.
I follow over 1,000 pages on Facebook. And I can tell you that I am getting...
Do not see content from...
I don't see content from most of them.
1,000 is a lot.
1,000 is a lot.
Yeah.
And I curate my personal Instagram where I am only following like 300 pages. And that includes friends and family and stuff like that. And I'm very particular about who I follow on Instagram versus Facebook.
Right.
And who I'm friends with and accept friend requests for follow
I agree.
requests
I do the
from
same
on Instagram.
thing. My Instagram's actually a little bit tighter.
It's a lot for me. It's a lot tighter.
Yeah.
But it's very curated on the type of content that I want and the type of information I'm looking for. So I want information that helps me as a parent and helps me as a social media manager. Yeah. So all of my content is either about marketing or parenting.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. And then some stuff from my family and friends, right? My sister and whatnot. But this is it is really good for businesses, because if you think about it, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. Right. If you're posting content that people like, that your audience likes, your target audience likes, Facebook wants to help you find those people and cultivate that relationship. So now you as a business owner, you have to understand how the algorithm is working and then create content that makes the algorithm work for you. So how does the algorithm work? It's a 2-factor formula. It takes all of the inventory, so all of the possible posts that Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform could show you at any given time, from all of the pages that are posting content in a proximity based on the interests. It's millions. It's millions. And then also based on the type of things that you're doing, user signals. So what do you, Shannon, all of the data that we have on you, that Meta has on you, how they think that this content in their inventory, they're going to serve that to you every time you open up the app and say, hopefully this is what you like.
They're going to take like a mirror image of somebody that is more, they're creating a profile of me almost, of understanding my likes. And
they're taking data from other people who are similar to
me, right?
100%.
Yep.
So, and then they're always testing, and does this work? And every time you scroll past something, that tells Meta, nope, don't like that. Every time you engage with something, watch something, if you watch and don't engage, you don't comment or share,
it knows that it falls into the algorithm.
But you watch the whole video, it knows that. It is very smart. This is the original artificial intelligence, right?
Yeah. And think about those people. And there's a lot of them out there. I like to call them my creepers.
Yes.
I'll see somebody out and about. They'll be like, oh, yeah, well, I saw that on Facebook. I'm like, you're on Facebook? Because they're those people that they don't like anything. They don't engage in anything, but they're reading everything. But guess what? Facebook still knows what you're doing.
Yeah, they're still showing that content to those people.
Yes.
And they know that person doesn't engage with anything.
They know it.
But they watch it and they read it and they look at the
photos.
And
we're still being tracked.
Everything that you do, everything is data. I could do a musical.
Yes. No, I like that. And this is something we teach just in marketing in general. Like, what you're talking about, who those top quality 25 people are, that's like in radio, we call them the P1s, right? Yep. Those are your P1 listeners. In the world of digital, we talk about first party data. Those are the people that are your most engaged people that have bought from you before. That's what this is on Facebook, is we want those quality top people, and the algorithms are helping us with that. Yes. Are they not?
You should not be thinking about, we do track reach and you want to be able to reach more people, but really the main goal is to cultivate a community of super fans, of people who their name when they pop up in your notification, and they know you.
Right.
That is what you want to do on Facebook and on Instagram, on any social media. And yes, if you get thousands of people,
it's different.
That's great.
Yep, that's different.
But you really want to cultivate that community, and that is what's really successful. And if you think about, that's why influencers do so well on social media, because it's one person and they're cultivating that community around a shared interest. Businesses can do the same thing and should be doing the same thing.
Well, and we'll talk about mistakes in a minute, but it just got me thinking about, we really need to change the mindset. So let me go to my next question. So you teach something called the 3-2-1 content strategy framework, right?
Yes.
So can you break down what this is and why it works so well with today's algorithms?
So it's an easy way to remember exactly what the algorithms want regardless. So whenever you're creating the content, it needs to fit these things. 3 emotional triggers that always work. Every single post, in order to get engagement, needs to trigger an emotional reaction, because that's what moves somebody to act.
Yep.
There are dozens of these, right?
Right.
The 3 that always work are surprise/delight.
Right.
So you want to surprise them, inspire that excitement. Oh, shocking.
I'm going to guess one. Funny.
That's part of surprising and delighting.
Is it that was going to be my question? Would you put that in there?
That's part of the surprise delight. 2, nostalgia/recognition. So that familiarity, that talking about your grandmother's cooking.
And we're seeing that all over content right now about the
Hollywood
80s and the 90s. And
billions of dollars on movie remakes and sequels for people
yeah.
who grew up in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And why do you think that is? Because nostalgia makes us spend
It
money.
does, yeah.
So nostalgia, big. And then the last one of the three, curiosity and problem solving.
Okay.
So this is your educational content, things that are delivering real value. We're really heavy on the educational content
Right.
at FDS on social because education is a core value of us. I will say it doesn't get a whole ton of engagement, but we do get a lot of reach.
Okay.
So people are watching it. So people are learning, but they're just not starting a conversation. That's something that we have to get better at, right? Also with the nostalgia recognition, that's where you're showcasing your team and the people who work for you. The more that you can show the people behind your business, the better. Okay, so that's 3. 2 format rules. 1, mobile first design. 90% of the people who are going to see your content on social media, if not more, are viewing it on their mobile phone. So you need vertical video, you need vertical photos.
So important.
Take up real estate on that screen and then make sure that it's attention grabbing. And then you need to have the audio visual priority. Video is number 1. Carousel posts, which is just a post with multiple images in it, whether it's photos or graphics or a combo.
They do
and then
great.
A single image.
Yep.
So give something people to swipe through.
Yeah, I think the vertical to me is probably the most important that smaller businesses might not be paying attention to the same way.
Oh, yeah.
Clients we talk to all the time about it, we say it and they're like, oh, yeah, I know. But then they get video created and they don't, even the people designing it for them aren't thinking down those lines.
Well, and even the photos that they're taking at their golf outings or their events, they're turning
their phone.
on the
I know.
side.
I stopped doing that myself.
Stop turning the phone on the
Stop
side.
turning the phone, people.
Hold it up just the same way that you are consuming content and take your photos and videos.
That's true.
I literally can look back in the moment that I started doing that in my photo albums in my history when I used to have a lot of horizontal photos and now everything is vertical.
Agreed.
Because that's how it is. And then 1 is the golden ratio, and that's the 80-20 rule. So 80% of your posts at least, and it can be more, you want to tip it in this favor, not in the other way. 80% or at least need to be focused on getting engagement. 20% of your posts or less can be actual promotional posts that are promoting your product.
I think this is probably the biggest mistake people make.
And even that has to be done in an engaging way that fits the format and isn't just like, hey, we're running a sale today only.
Well, I was talking to a car dealer and they love to post pictures of the people that just bought a car and nobody cares.
Nobody.
Well, and I said to him, like, do it like once a week or once a month, like take pictures and do a carousel or do like a montage video, but it's one post.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And you can look at, there's a lot of great examples out there. I always point to Ryanair for that one. They do such a great job with their promotional posts that are really engaging and make sense. It's an airline in Europe. But if you follow Ryanair on Instagram, just look at how they're doing their promotional posts. They speak the language of the people.
Yeah, and that's what you need to do.
The platforms. Yeah.
Well, the 3-2-1, I love that because I think that's very easy for our business owners to think about. But let's talk about mistakes because I kind of brought that up. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot we can make, right? And I always say never a mistake when you learn from it, right?
Yeah.
So what are the biggest mistakes that you see businesses make that actually hurt their reach, especially things that they think are helping?
Yes.
Which we just talked about one of them.
The number one that I see all the time, and I've been talking about this for years, hashtags on Facebook.
Yeah, you do. You are the hashtag police because it drives you insane.
Well, and here's the thing.
We've been talking about it for years on the podcast.
And I've mentioned it in multiple podcasts. I do want to do another webinar on the death of the hashtag because truly hashtags are dead on every social media platform.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of them. Hashtags are dead. Pointless now. It's all about caption SEO.
So why is it dead now? What do our business owners need to be thinking about? What, did they know in the first place why they were using it? I mean, that's what I always say. Did they know that was an index and that was a way to be searched? And
yeah, I don't think a lot of people knew that. I think people who are really heavy on Instagram knew that. It started on Twitter and then Instagram adapted it and Facebook added the functionality where if you click on that hashtag, it ties together every single public post on that hashtag. And for a while, you could follow hashtags on Instagram.
I was teaching that 15 years ago when I first started here. That was in my training was how Twitter, they indexed. It was actually started when Osama bin Laden was killed and they were indexing differently with the hashtag. And that's when it blew up. And how many years ago are we talking now?
Yeah.
You know?
And so I still see to this day people just dumping hashtags at the end of their Facebook
especially
posts.
Influencers that don't know what they're doing.
Yes. And it's like you can include one hashtag if it's something that is a big campaign. Like I always think of like Dove Beauty. They always have their campaigns about size inclusivity or everyone's beautiful. That's fine. You can do one. Do it in the context of your caption. Don't just do it at the end. But gone are the days, even on Instagram, Adam Mosseri has come out and said, hashtags don't help increase your reach.
Yeah.
It doesn't help you reach people anymore. You can't follow hashtags on Instagram anymore. The best thing to do is to make sure that you are talking the same language as your target audience about the products and services and things that you're, and
Which is marketing 101.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's what these organic posts are still is about marketing. Now, would you say don't use them at all?
I think that the time that you spend thinking about hashtags could be better spent learning how to create a reel. Explore the Edits app. Figure out how to create reels that are really interesting. Learn how to do captions. Learn how to edit video. Spend the time doing that. That's going to take you a little bit longer to get. But that's what you should be doing because video is the forefront. So that's another mistake is not doing enough video. And just thinking, just sharing a picture is fine. Right. Using stock photos or reposting the same stuff all the time or posting videos and photos that are really grainy. That's not going to work. Posting the same content across every single platform without making it custom to those platforms' best practices. That's really big. And then not responding to comments and messages quickly enough.
That's huge. That's like a review, though. I mean, come on, people. If somebody's reviewing you, you don't respond to a bad review or a good review, it's going to ding you.
It's going to ding you.
Yeah.
Think, what is the first word in social media?
Right.
It's social.
Well,
you have to be a part of the conversation. If you want to start these meaningful conversations with people, you have to be a part of it. You have to respond.
It's also engagement. So what better way to grow engagement on a post than they comment and you engage them and a conversation ensues? Guess what? Now your post is getting shown more in the algorithm because we have engagement. It's a cycle, people.
It is. And the more that you feed it, the better that it gets. So that's huge.
Okay. So more video.
Yes.
No hashtags.
Yep.
Right. Comment. What was the other one you said?
No stock photos.
No stock
use
photos.
Real
grainy.
photos.
Use real people.
Use real people. Use photos. Photos that you take. Photos and videos that you take on your phone are phenomenal.
Yes.
Just make sure that they're well lit, and make sure that.
And the phones nowadays take better pictures than half the cameras.
100%.
You know,
and you don't have to understand f-stops and ISOs, and you don't have to be a professional photographer.
Those are all great. I would tell a client that the same thing, and just because you've taught me so well, and I know that, so great job. For businesses that are just starting to really try to implement these strategies, what would you say, like to give our listeners more of a step-by-step action plan so they can leave here today, have jotted down a couple notes, or they heard you on the webinar, like what would be a step-by-step action plan?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got 3 steps for you.
I like this theory here. We got the 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
You gave about 4 or 5 mistakes, but now we're back to 3. I like the number game here. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Odd numbers. People like odd numbers. It just attracts us. Okay. So step 1, you want to build your foundation. When you're building foundation, you want to take an audit of the last year's worth of posts that you've done. What got the most engagement and what didn't get engagement? You want to look in your page settings on Facebook and Instagram and to see if you are recommendable or if your page has any kind of violations. This is especially true if you are in the cannabis industry, if you are in any other kind of regulated goods industry, alcohol, if you are in medical. That's a big one, what you see dings for, or like weight loss or anything like that, like showing a lot of before and after photos. So make sure that your content is recommendable. And then you want to start planning your content, and to give yourself a guide of planning that and creating that content is you want to identify 3 to 5 content pillars that can guide what it is. And it's not just, these are my top 3 services or products.
It's very different. We talk to clients about this a lot. Like, this isn't where I'm going in and saying, give me your top 3 products in order of profitability.
Yeah.
Your 3 content pillars are very different. So explain that better.
We want to know your top products, and we'll include those. It might not be by revenue. It might be by popularity for social media. And then think about the problems that we're solving for those people. So like, in the webinar, I use Dove as an example, and I think it's a great example because they do a great job of, in their content pillars, it's product, but it's also company values.
Right.
And so their product pillars are skincare, hair care, diversity and inclusion, self-esteem and individual empowerment, and then user-generated content. Those are their 5 content pillars.
Okay.
So if you think about it, they're incorporating their products with hair care and skincare. Those are very popular things that their core audience cares a lot about. that they can help solve those problems. Their core audience really cares about beauty and self-esteem. That's why they take such good care of their hair and their skin. And so that's a core value of theirs. Size inclusivity and diversity, and showing that's really important to show that everybody can be beautiful.
Yeah, you're also expanding your audience to know that this isn't just limited.
We are not limited to a very narrow person. Anybody who cares about beauty and feeling good can use our products, right?
Gender doesn't matter because it's men and women.
Men and women. My husband and I both used Dove products.
Men, women, non-binary. Like everybody's included in that. Yeah.
And then user-generated content, which is showing normal, everyday people in the spotlight. Now they do a mix of influencers and a mix of just
they do a really good job with their influencers with it.
They do a really good job. So that's big. So that's step one.
Okay.
Step two is testing and optimizing. This is when you are publishing content and then analyzing the heck out of it to see what is working. What are you getting comments and shares on? What is reaching people? How long are people watching? Think about the type of content that you're creating, the topics that you're posting about. Are you using a good hook at the beginning of your reel? Is your voice really casual or really corporate-y? Are you doing more fun stuff? Like what works for you? And there are some things that'll work for everybody, but there's some things that are going to be unique to you.
Well, it's A/B testing too. Like you should always be doing some type of A/B testing, either just to see what's going to grab your audience's attention. And it could change month to month.
And it is going to change.
Yeah.
It is going to change. And you'll see trends over time, but it is going to change. And we want to see that. And I say this all the time, every social media specialist, anybody who's managing a social media page, you have to be open to change and you have to be a constant learner, because you spend a lot of time in that. You are always testing and optimizing. Even if you've been doing this for 15 plus years like I have.
It's why we say with our clients when it comes to boosted posts, don't you decide which organic posts to boost at the very beginning. Every now and then we do that.
Yeah.
But watch what's happening, because the post that maybe you weren't expecting to get the engagement is getting it. Now let's boost that one.
Yes.
Right? So that's part of that optimization.
100%. 100%. And then step 3 is just scaling and refining. Now you know what's doing well, double down on that. Start to build your community through engaging people and responding to comments and messages. Get that user-generated content from your top fans. Take your top performing posts and repurpose them in different ways. That could be if you had a reel that had 50,000 views, 6 months ago, well, now we're going to make a carousel post out of that same information. So repurposing that and repackaging that. If you have a blog or an email newsletter, using that as source material for your social media content
is great.
And then also vice versa. If you have a social media post that goes off and that's something that you can dive deep into and
turn it into
newsletter or a blog
or a podcast.
Right. That's great too.
Webinar.
Yeah.
We do it all.
But so it's build your foundation, test and optimize everything that you're publishing, and then just scale and refine.
Okay. That's easy to remember, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is called Digital Marketing ROI, right?
Yes.
So let's bring it back to our topic. And I love it when I get to ask you this, right? So how does mastering these algorithm strategies translate to better ROI for business owners?
So when you are getting the algorithms to work for you instead of working against you, your organic reach is going to increase dramatically. The amount of people who are engaging with your posts are going to increase. Your brand is built on social media. The more that you're getting engagement, the more often your posts are going to show up. So your reach and your impressions are going to go up. Your brand awareness is going to go up. You're also going to cultivate that community of super fans, those people who really know you and love you. And if you are a business where people can come in and visit you all the time, like a retail store or a restaurant or something like that, that's how you get regulars, right? But if you're an HVAC company and people only need you when they need you, they only need you when something breaks, or maybe they do a maintenance plan with you, but they had such a great experience with you, you're going to be the first person that they call because they've been engaging with your social media content. Or if their friend posts on Facebook and says, my air conditioner
who do I call?
Who do I call? Yeah. Who do you recommend? Because we all do that for HVAC.
We do. I literally just saw it today on there because, it's like 90 degrees out.
Yep. And this is when your air conditioner breaks. And they're going to say, oh, well, the people at this company are really great. Mm-hmm. And then those people are going to go to your page and they're going to see your content and they're going to see, wow, these people are really great. And that is where you get the ROI. Yep. It is a long game.
And by the way, I want to with ROI, and we talk about this a lot in this podcast, but we break up our products and solutions we sell as advertising versus services.
Yes.
And social, don't get me wrong, social media can have a great return on investment.
Yes.
But as far as the way we look at it, it is actually considered a service we provide.
Yes.
There is 100% ROI there, but it is different than a true advertising product, a streaming commercial or display ad.
Yeah, you can tie the analytics of, okay, how many people saw this ad versus how many people came into your conversion zone, right? We can't really do that on social media, but we know, and we see it with us, we see it with other clients, that if we are spending time cultivating that community of super fans, of people who really love you, those are the people who are going to buy from you, and those are the people who are going to recommend from you. And that is so valuable in the long run. And then when you do run ads on Facebook or on Instagram or on whatever social media platform, people don't just see your ad and then buy. They look at your page and then they buy.
Exactly.
It is a long-term game. It is hard to directly connect the ROI, but it is there.
Well, and I would say this to our listeners, sometimes a business owner, all they hear is Facebook or social media. They don't necessarily understand the difference between advertising and service on those platforms.
Oh,
so
for sure.
Everything that you're talking about today and what you talked about on the webinar is all tied to what's called organic, right?
Yes.
It's organic content.
Yes.
This is not when you're boosting it. You can boost
These
a
are the posts that you would boost.
Well, you would boost them. Let me rephrase this. This isn't an advertising campaign.
Right.
This is a boosted organic post. So I just want to make sure our listeners understand everything you've said. Everything about the algorithm is 100% tied to organic content.
Yes, 100%. Okay. It is the post to your feed. It is the post to your page. It is what...
And yes, you might throw some budget behind it on a boosted post, but that is not a advertising campaign. That's different. Okay.
Totally different.
That's good. Well, this has been fun. I like it when I don't have to answer all the questions and you get to. I get to just ask you.
It's fun to switch it up, and I love being. I love
you're so passionate about it because you understand it so well.
Thank you. I am passionate about it. I think it's really interesting, and I also think that it's an opportunity for businesses, especially our local regional businesses.
Right.
A lot of them struggle with it. It is a challenge, and I get that, but it is so valuable, and I have seen it make such a big difference for businesses in my career, and that is why I'm passionate about it.
Well, and we do say, I mean, this podcast isn't. Yes, we do run a digital marketing agency, and yes, we would love your business, but we're just trying to educate. So if you're not ready to have somebody just do it for you, I always say, like, I'm not going to change my oil. I'm going to pay somebody to do it. Mm-hmm. There comes a point in time that it might not be the priority of your business, and it does make sense to ask to have a partnership with a company such as ours. But if you are doing it yourself, these are the things that you can follow.
Yep, 100%.
Well, thank you. Really appreciate it. Today was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
And thanks to our listeners for tuning in today, and join us for our next episode of Digital Marketing ROI.
You've been listening to Digital Marketing ROI from Federated Digital Solutions. Do you have an idea for a future episode or a burning digital marketing question? Text ROI to 45364 to get a link where you can share your idea. Subscribe to get new episodes every other Thursday, plus Tip Tuesday insights every week.
Podcasts by Federated Media.